Welcome back. This is part 13 of the Jain Sūtras recitals on Edward Reeves Buddhist Books podcast. If this is your first time seeing me, click here instead. That'll take you to the beginning of the podcast, episode 1 of Dhammapada. It's a better place to start. If you're listening on the podcast, hello, you don't see me, you only hear me. I see you. I don't really see you, but I acknowledge you. If this is your first time hearing me, you just decided to jump in at this episode, all right, it's your choice. I won't tell you to switch it to the first episode because, you might be on the road or something. I don't want to cause a, situation. But if you feel like, the beginning is a good place to start. Now, for those of you who are here for the Jainism, but this is the first time you've seen me, this is a better place to start. That'll break down why I'm talking about Jain Sūtras on a Buddhist Books podcast. Okay, that's out of the way. Hello! Welcome back. Let's see, anything new? No, it's only been less than a day since I talked to you last. So, let's get right to it. For a change, right? Picking up right where we left off. It is the guru who imparts qualities of knowledge to the aspirant, brings joy by showing him the right path, and finally makes him worthy of worship. Therefore, the guru is the absolute Mangal. Another interesting etymology of Mangala by an Akarya goes thus: Mangati equals Hithartam Harpati iti Mangala. Hey, it's different. I remember this one. I used to play this one in my yoga classes. Do you think this one's gonna get me? You think I'll be able to post this on YouTube? Think it'll be fine? I hope so. All right. Quote, that which makes an endeavor for the well-being of all creatures is Mangal. End quote. Mangati duram dustamanena asmad vaiti mangalam. That which takes away all troubles, bad luck, and negative energy is Mangal. The above meanings apply well to the guru, since he is the one who brings to us all that is auspicious, and also removes the obstacles in our path. Thus, the guru is considered Mangal, since he can redeem us and open the doors of liberation for us, not the doors of perception. Don't do drugs. The next word is Devayim. Before we move on to the next word, thank you. Me, later on. He's my editor. Anyway, okay, the next word is Devayam. This means God in Sanskrit. Okay? From time immemorial, man, assuming gender neutral, mankind, humanity, let's say, has worshipped the gods. Vedic literature is full of worship to various gods, but here we are not referring to those gods. Jainism does not believe in worship of demigods or lesser gods. Jainism, remember what I said about Judaism and Jainism? Jainism does not believe in worship of, I just read that. Jainism stresses that it is the man himself who in his higher state, becomes Godhead. Ooh, sounds like Gnosticism to me. Heresy, and becomes worthy of worship. In the commentary of the Astakya Prakarana of Akarya Haribhadra, Sri Jineswari Suri writes, Divyanti, you thought this was going to be in English, didn't you? Divyanti Svarupe iti deva. That's from Astaka Prakarana Tika 29 Astaka, in case you were wondering. Quote, those who shine in their own form are devas, or gods. Did you ever see that episode of Xena where Gabrielle becomes a god? This analogy is befitting to the guru, of the guru. The gurus, neither have I, by the way, the gurus show their divine miracles in the actual form of their own true self. Even Lord Mahavir used to describe his monks, who were the shining epitome of right conduct, as devas. Devas? Am I putting the right emphasis? Why aren't you responding? Okay. The Bhagavati Sutra has descriptions of 5 types of devas. Among them, the ones in the 4th state, parentheses, who are the monks, end parentheses, are called Dharma Devas. Dharma Devas. Looking for a band name? All right. Goyama J. Ime Anagara Bhagavanto Iriyasamiya Java Gutabambhayari Se Tenat, it's almost over, Tenat Evam Vukai, thank you, Dhammadeva. That's from Bhagavati Sutra. You thought I was going to say Bhagavad Gita, didn't you? Silly. No, that's not Jainism. Sa 12, Uday 9. Presumably Sa is chapter and Uday is verse? Maybe? The glory of the Guru is the name of the next section. The upholders of principles, such as non-violence and truth, are considered as devas not just in Jainism, but also in the Vedic religion. Vedas. Here's the Vedas. We'll get to those maybe in this life. Got a lot of Buddhism to read. All right. Oh boy, where was I? Okay. Yes. Oh, right. Over here. Lord Krishna gives a beautiful description of Daivi Sampada, or divine endowment. Here we go. Abhayam Sattva Sansadhirjnana Yoga Vyavastiti Danam Damaska Yangyaska Svadhyayastapa Arjavam. That's from Gita 16.1. Maybe that's Bhagavad Gita? I don't know. Abhayam is to be fearless, and to offer the gift of fearlessness to others by body, mind, and speech. Sattva Sansadi means purity of the mind and honest conduct. Honest conduct. I left out a T. Where one stays away from actions of fraud, trickery, falsehood, pride, etc. Jnana Yoga Vyavastiti is to be steadfast in acquiring knowledge of such subjects as the self through yoga or concentration. Dhanam is charity, according to one's ability. Dhamma is control of the sense organs. Yajna is sacrifice for the benefit of mankind. Svadhyaya is scriptural study. That's what we're doing, isn't it? Tapa is austerity. And Arjavam is simplicity and straightforwardness. Okay. Ahimsa Satya Makrod Hastyaga, not to be hasty about it, but I'm going to try to get through this. Satira Payisunam Deya Bhutesvaloluptvam Mardavam Hrirakapalam. New word, just kidding. That was 7 words. That's from Gita 16.2, or it is Gita 16.2, maybe. Ahimsa, as you may know, is nonviolence, which means to avoid injury or pain to any creatures. Satyam is truthfulness. Akrodha is absence of anger. Remember, you put an A at the beginning of something, it means it's not krodha. So akrodha. Akrod, probably. They don't pronounce the A, unless they're talking to foreigners, which makes it very confusing. Is the absence of anger even when provocated. Provocated. Even when provoked, as we say in our century. Provocated. I like it. I'm going to start using that. If you hadn't provocated me... Okay, Tyagam is renunciation of all sensual objects. Santi is inner peace. Apayisunam is absence of vilification of another. Daya is kindness to creatures in distress, born from an understanding that all are like oneself. There, but for the grace of God, go I, but without the attitude. Okay. Aloluptvam, easy to remember because it has lol in it, right? Is non-covetousness and detachment. Mardavam is gentleness. Hri is avoiding the sense of shame born from wrong acts. Wow, so much packed into such a little word. And akapalam is absence of restlessness and avoiding unnecessary movements. Teja, ksama, driti, saukamadroho, natimanata, bhavanti, sampadam, daivima, bijatasya, bharata. Gita 16.3. Teja is inner vigor. Born from qualities and principles such as nonviolence. Kasama is forgiveness. Driti is fortitude. Saucham, don't know. Saucam, with an accent grave, accent aigu over the S. An odd place for an accent aigu, isn't it? Anyway, is purity of mind. Saucham is purity of mind. Probably shaucham. Shaucha, related? Shaucham is purity of mind, body, and speech. Adroho is lack of malice and absence of hatred and animosity toward another. So presumably droho is malice and hatred and animosity towards another. Anyway, and natimanata is absence of arrogance and haughtiness. Nigel, that's not in the text. Okay, there are the qualities of one endowed. I'm not making fun of gay people, I'm making fun of British people. Okay, just so that's clear. That's still PC, right? Making fun of British people? That will be PC forever. These are the qualities of one endowed with divine attributes. O Bharata! Don't know what it means. It's written right here with an exclamation point. Exclamation point. Okay. The bearers of these qualities are no ordinary beings, but gods. When man comes out of his demoniacal nature and moves into his divine nature, he touches the immortal purity of life, becomes free of the shackles of Maya, becomes the teacher of the universe. Band name, anybody? And gives the gift of knowledge to all without any distinction, thus helping people move towards their salvation. I mean, he doesn't make them take an oath of secrecy first. Wonder when they brought that in. Was that Mahayana? Somewhere between there and the... reflecting on this, we see that the guru is not just a deva, but God himself, with a lowercase g, but without the letter A before it. Confusing? Quite. The word Paramatma means the Supreme Soul. Yeah, remember? Paramatma, Bahiratma, and Antaratma? Maybe. Okay. It means Supreme Soul. The Guru's soul is not ordinary, but supreme. In the human form, it is not easy to conquer carnality, anger, pride, greed, and other passions. Even the mightiest of conquerors are themselves conquered by the force of these passions. It is easier to tame a wild elephant, or to ride a lion, or even to vanquish and conquer all the territories in the world than to conquer these foes that reside within. I don't know, here, right there. Okay. Thank you. It is a task that can be accomplished only by a great spiritual aspirant. Aspirant? And Acharya has rightly remarked that this entire world is caught in the shackles of carnality. Ooh, band name. And wealth. Shackles of carnality works on its own. Okay. Therefore, he who can free himself of these and adopt the path of vitaraga, or detachment, is the divine God of two arms himself. Kanta Kanaka, Kanta Kanaka hyphen Sutrena Vestitam Sakalam Jagat Tasu Tesu Virakto Yo Vibhuja Vara Mesvara. In the Jaina tradition, it is this thought that has led to addressing a guru as Bhante. Bhante means God. For instance, see the Sutra of Karemi Bhante. Next section. The manifold meaning of Kaitya. The word Kaitya is the Prakrit form of the Sanskrit word Kaitya. The word Kayam. Oh, okay. The word maybe Chayam, Sayam, Kayam. What? Something. A word is a form of another word. All right. There are some selectorial differences with regard to this word. Some scholars state that Kaitya means jnana, or knowledge. The followers of this tradition are the Sthanakavasis. Others state that it means pratima, or idol. They are the Murti Pujakas of the Svetambara tradition. in our context of learning about Jainism in order to learn about what the Buddha would have learned before he went on his own path, these things are quite likely completely irrelevant because they would have happened long after he learned Jainism. So hopefully in the midst of all this, that schism says this and this schism says that, blah, 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 we're getting a little bit of the essence of what it was all about. I think we are. A lot of emphasis on guru, obey the guru, and you yourself will one day be a guru and be worshipped as a god, which sounds a little bit like Mahayana, but we'll see how much Theravada is like that. I remember a little bit of that in Dhammapada, but not front and center emphasis. The Buddha is the wise one, worship him. It was more about what he was saying, Anyway, non-self, Not so much emphasis on souls and whether your soul is big or small or dirty or clean. All right. Anyway, back to the Jainism. All right. Where were we? The word kaitya has many meanings and therefore has to be understood by the context. We need to reflect deeply upon its meaning in this particular context. Which particular context? As we reflect on this, we will see that there is not much space for argument in understanding kaitya. All right? So, what's the opinion of... no, I won't say it. The divine knowledge, the espousing, anyway. If it means knowledge or jnana, then knowledge is a symbol or indicator of light. It is perfectly appropriate to think of the guru as light. All right, yeah, well, they made him... even if one looks at kaitya as idol, and that's I-D-O-L, not I-D-L-E. Idol. Billy Idol. It is acceptable. Even the Murti Pujaka scholars do not interpret kaitya as a mere idol directly, but as that which can be worshipped as an idol. Okay. Did you ever see Short Circuit 2? I'm not saying that your mother is never mind. If you've seen it, maybe. I'm saying they are like dogs. All right. Just as an idol is considered worthy of worship, the guru is considered worthy of idolizing. Okay. This is a symbol which can be used for worldly objects, and for this we need not accept or reject the views of any particular sect. All right? Even the Sthanakavasis can accept this meaning without any objection. At the beginning, the first bunch, we're on page 43, so I think the first 15 pages, you remember I was talking about, it sounds like he's talking to hippies. I think this is the part where he's lulling the hippies to sleep. It's and this sect says this, and this word means this, and they're all kind of You got to be able to lull people to sleep with your speeches. Helps with the trance, right? Okay. Even yes. Do we not see people adoring and respecting the idols of their gods? Yeah, we do. Right? Is there any fault in attributing a symbol? Well, it depends on who you ask, but yeah, I'll go along with this. Is it not, I assume it's a rhetorical question, and the answer is no, but if you ask a Muslim, then obviously the answer is smash it. With respect, blessed be he. Okay, it is not as if the idol is likened to the Tirthankaras. Even the Murti Pujaka scholars have not stated this. Even see the writings of Abhayadeva Suri on this. Honestly, I'm probably not going to. I'm going to be reading about Buddhism after this for a long, long time. But if you're interested, check it out. He's going to tell us. Kaityamista deva pratima Kaityamiva Kaityam paryap asayama. That's from Bhaga to Sa 1U. Cool. This location of Bhagavati is connected to Lord Mahavir. While offering obeisance to God, one cannot logically say that he is the idol. Now, Billy Idol was like, okay. That will be inappropriate. Therefore, here only the popular simile can be applied. Apart from the two meanings given above, the word kaitya is interpreted in some other ways too. Acharya Abhayadeva writes in the commentary on Vandanā Sūtra, quote, "They are the kaityas whose very sight brings exhilaration to the heart." Sitalada katvadava, tvadva, I should have said, kaitya, stanangatika, 4/2. Does not this meaning fit perfectly? What meaning? After all, whose spirits do not lift up at the sight of one's guru? Okay, all right. It all makes sense if I think of Gordon. You know, if you think of the guru, like, ew, ooh, like, you know, like the, whoever. If you think of like a shady guru or like a guru or someone, some sleazy guy like the head of Shimbalaya a few years ago, you know, and then think of all this, read all this, then it's just all kind of like, But if you think of someone that you actually really revere and respect and like who has that kind of glow, regardless of whether they be Jaina, then yes, it fits. Not to say it's the end-all, be-all. Obviously, I'm coming from an aspiring Buddhist perspective, so I'm reading it with the same respect that a Christian scholar gives the Old Testament. Oh, that's not good. I should give it more respect than that. Okay. Oh, who am I kidding? I don't even give respect to the Buddhist sutras. I try to, except when it's awful. Okay. Forget everything I just said. Erase. Anyone old enough to remember the Love Master? The great agamic scholar Acharya Malayagiri interprets the word kaitya in an extraordinary and sensitive manner in the commentary on Rajaprasaniya Sutra. He says, kaitya is that which makes the mind vast, beautiful, serene, and pure. Wow. I like the sound of that. Let's close there, shall we? No. Kaityam suprasastamano hetu tvad from Raja 18 Kandika Surya Bhadeva Tadikara. This meaning applies well to the guru. After all, he is the one who can broaden the horizons of our small minds corrupted by passions. The great fruit of Vinanda. To conclude, I would like to reiterate that paying obeisance to one's guru is a very significant act in our life as spiritual aspirants. When an aspirant shuns his pride and offers himself with humility and gratitude, his soul touches the divine aura, which can lead him to the highest peak of spirituality. Lord Mahavir has stated, Vandanam Jive jive maybe, nitya goyam, kamam kave ukagoyam, kamam nibantai sohagam, ka or cha or sa, I don't know, nam, apadihayam anafalam, nivate nahinabhavam se janai, from Uttara 29/10. By Vandana, the soul destroys the karmas of low lineage and accumulates the karma of high lineage, acquires wide fortunes, becomes rooted in religion, and is then dear to all. This teaching of Lord Mahavir is significant. As we read in the pages of history, King Srenika destroyed his accumulated sins of 6 hells by paying obeisance to the monks. Such was the humility and devotion in his heart. Nowadays, no one bows his head while performing Vandana. There are many who do not bend their bodies even by an inch. They only recite perfunctory words of Vandana and believe that they have done their duty. Next section. We're almost finished with the sutra. As you probably know from the description, we're going to finish it in this episode. Might go over a little bit. Vandana with object and thought. The Agamas describe 2 kinds of Vandana, the objective and the subjective. The first is with the external bodily parts, 4 limbs, only 4? Sorry, and 1 head. The second is with the inner consciousness. When one pays obeisance with these bodily parts, along with pure and devout feeling, it is defined as bhava, or subjective Vandana, or thoughtful obeisance. The Vandana is futile without the accompanied feeling. It has no bearing on spiritual life. Final section, the ritual of Vandana. In the main text, what is the implication of the word pradaksina? You tell me, sir. It is said that in ancient times, the Tirthankara, or the guru, would be seated in the center of the assembly during Samavasarana. The visiting aspirants would have to walk around the Tirthankara, or guru, in a circular pattern, starting from the right and then arriving before him in this manner. Perform Vandana with Panchanga, or 5 bodily parts. Any particular 5? This pradasina, meaning circumambulation, by walking around the object of prayer in a circle as a form of worship. It put the circle in quotes, I don't know why. Would be carried out thrice. Thrice, 3 times circumambulation. Doesn't remind me of anything. At the end of every pradasina, one would perform Vandana. Nowadays, neither respect nor devotion is seen during pradaksina. We must revive this beautiful tradition and enrich our lives again. Yes, yes. Let the mystical circumambulation take place on the pathway of light. I was holding the banner of these, nothing weird. As far as philosophical reflection is concerned, even the Sutra of Tikuto need not be recited aloud. Its meaning is more profound in its action than merely in its utterance. The actual sutra of reverence begins with Vandami. Well, that was the Sutra of Guru something. Sorry. That concludes the Guru Vandanā Sūtra, obeisance to Guru. All right. So next time we'll be picking up with this sutra. You'll find out. All right. So thank you all for joining me on this bumpy ride, even though we went over by a little bit. And we'll pick up right where we left off. I try to boycott JK, but I'm going to go see that movie tonight. I hope you guys can forgive me. Okay. To the north and to the south, to the east and to the west, to the spirits of light among us, and to the spirits below, we send out our reverent love and compassion. May all beings be happy. May all beings be serene. May all beings be in peace. Thank you for going on this ride with me. Until next time.